The police, the judges, and the courts are all part of the world's most powerful criminal enterprise.
So to clarify, you're calling for the overthrow of the Spanish government?
No. I'm calling for the overthrow of all governments, politicians, religious fanatics, brainwashing by corporations, the corruption of the banking system gone. Gone. Washington, Berlin, Beijing will be graveyards. And only then people will understand there is a better way to run this world.
And that's what you really want here, worldwide revolution.
Governments must fall.
Good morning, everyone. It's December 17th, 2018. Signs of coming collapse. Citizens worldwide revolt against taxation and illegal TFplan.com. There are many serious issues to address relevant to current events. Just to skim some of what has happened most recently. The Dow Jones has been extremely volatile within the past month, appearing to be headed toward a loss for the year overall. Spending is down, and the bubble of pseudo-consumer confidence prior to Thanksgiving seems to have dissipated. The main focus, the unrest that is swiftly crossing national borders, has a common denominator in France and now in Belgium and the Netherlands. That common denominator is that the populace is fed up with the amount of taxation coupled with the politicals pushing illegal Muslim aliens into nations that have been predominantly Christian for almost 1,000 years. I mean, who wants Muslims or Jews, for that matter, in their country when they have such perverse practices towards children? I mean, it's okay in the Muslim faith to marry a small child. Who needs that within their culture? Who needs the rabbi sucking on the baby penis in their culture? I don't think we need it here. In countries such as Germany, Sweden, and Norway, and the Vikings, respectively, we have been witness to rapes and beatings perpetrated by Muslim illegal aliens, with the governments either looking the other way or encouraging it. Soros and those of his ilk in the EU have been pushing this forced integration of an invasion of illegals with huge ethnic and religious gap between them and the host nations. The controllers are pushing these armies of illegals into previously stable nations for several express purposes. Number one, the undermining of the nation's borders, language, religion, family structure, and culture to reduce the nation's original populace to a state of abandoning their nationalities and nationalism, and to place these aliens into a position where they will weaken the economies of the nations, and also utilizing their numbers for support when it comes time to vote in these nations. We have been witnessing an internal conquest fomented upon each of these European nations, more effective than any invasion with military resources. The controllers are injecting these aliens into the populations and allowing their destructive nature and habits to destroy those countries from within. On December 7, 2018, Zero Hedge published a piece entitled "Viral Video of French Students Lined Up Execution Style Sparks Outrage. Protesters Want Macron's Scalp." That really bears looking at. The cops there are way out of hand. Cops here, too. The most interesting part of the article, however, may be the interview that was conducted with a Parisian cab driver, and his stance in that interview summarizes the rage and betrayal felt by the French people. Here's a piece of it for you. One angry Paris taxi driver called for Macron's scalp in half an hour monologue, according to Bloomberg. "We're going out there to fight," he said, adding, "I want Macron's scalp. I'm not afraid of anything. I have nothing to lose. You have to risk your life or you don't get anything from these people." Let me stop right there. You shouldn't be risking your life to get anything from these people. You should be risking your life to destroy them, to put them in a dungeon or the ground or ashes. But you shouldn't be risking your life to get shit from these people. These people will give to you for a brief period of time, and they'll take triple, quadruple, and then some back from you. That's how they work. Why does the cab driver feel this way about Macron? Macron. For people like the taxi driver, there's no limit when it comes to removing the youngest French leader since Napoleon, who, as the country's economy minister between 2014 and 2016, deregulated the taxi business and was a strong supporter of car booking apps. "He ruined us. He broke our business," the taxi driver said. "He wants everything new, digital, the new world. And he did it all without thinking of the cost for us." And they always do this. They always do things without thinking of the cost for the people. That's why I always tell you, politics isn't done for you. It's done to you. It's done to you. And there it is right there. Okay. Replace everyone. Have everything young, new. Yeah, well, that's not how you do things. Now it's payback time. It reminds me of Jesse Ventura's words in the movie Predator. But you see the point. After they push you into a corner, you have to come out swinging. And that's exactly what we need to be doing. And I'm not talking about symbolic swinging. I'm not talking about begging these fucking pigs for our rights back. I'm talking about taking them back and putting these people where they belong. Or sending them where they belong. Hell. We are facing a similar situation in this country. The president has been holding his own, and it appears with the Mueller witch hunt and the Democrat Party gathering torches and pitchforks, the offensive is going to take a new direction. In January, the House, now Democrat-controlled, is back in control of defense expenditures, and that is going to place actions that the president is taking. Troops on the border to halt the illegal caravan of love, and to build a wall in danger of being halted and or defunded. And of course, that's what this whole government shutdown that Trump's been talking about regards. If they don't want to fund them, he's going to shut the damn government down, and I say good. Shut it down, keep it down, but wait. there'll still be cops running around extorting money from the citizens. There'll still be an IRS extorting money from the citizens. So that's kind of a bullshit. It doesn't really shut down, does it? Another article came out on December 3rd entitled, German biker gangs are standing up for their country's women by beating the hell out of Muslim refugees in their midst to keep assaulting them. And that's a good thing. They should be fucking hanging these people for raping their women. I was starting to wonder if the men in Europe had any balls whatsoever. And they did not disappoint me. You can plainly see the fawning media over there is no different than yours, ours. What? You can plainly see the fawning media. See, they worded that strangely. You can plainly see media fawning over there is no different than ours, as it labeled the bikers as members of rocker and hooligan gangs. Okay? Hooligans, huh? Hooligans? The Muslims out there raping women and marrying children aren't hooligans? They're not fucking scum that needs to be strung up? I think they are. And this is the German biker gang, I'm guessing. And I say good for them. Good for them. It's about fucking time. Look closely at the photograph. These guys are, even with the masks, you can see it pretty clear. Dressed cleanly and normally. And they're not soy boys by any stretch of the imagination. The prediction, German bikers 1, Arabs 0. Plain and simple. Good. When law enforcement fails to enforce the law and protect citizens from illegal aliens, then it is no longer law enforcement. It is an armed, tyrannical enforcer of a dictatorship, voted into office legally, but pursuing actions that are not approved by the populace. And that's going on all across the planet, and it's coming to a boiling point. We can only hope that citizens of all European nations, citizens in South Africa, start rebelling in a very public and violent way. One of the advantages that the European nations have in dealing with confronting their governments is ethnic homogeny. This leads to a single-minded purpose, and that is the essence of crowd psychology. The single-minded purpose. And that's why crowds are so effective in purging scum from the political system. Because once you're in a crowd, the crowd takes on a mind of its own, and their purpose is usually something like that. This leads to a single-minded purpose in which they will settle for nothing less than the capitulation of the government, and at a bare minimum, forcing the resignation of the leadership. And it should be the entire leadership. Every person in the government should be plucked from their positions, and if you absolutely need a government, you should start over from scratch. I know it'd be painful for a while, but it's better than being a slave. I watched an episode of Supernatural last night, and I believe it was Crowley who said, would you rather be free or in peace? No, it was Castiel. Castiel. Would you rather live in peace or be free? Well, I would rather be free. I'd rather bombs being exploded all around me, people getting shot in freedom, than live peacefully in slavery. Look at Merkel. She's not going to run for office again. Now look at Macron. One step from being shown the door by the angry mobs. They called out almost 90,000 police to deal with these riots in France, only to find that a great number of the police are siding with the populace. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. The police should be siding with the people. The military should be siding with the people and purging these government officials. Look at what is happening in the United States. Look at the crimes raging from rape to murder that are being inflicted upon American citizens who live on our southern borders. Hungary has set up barbed wire fence and machine gun positions to keep illegals out. We, on the other hand, send the National Guard to do what? Play Yahtzee or Scrabble with the illegals? It is an invasion, plain and simple. The controllers originally intended for the U.S. to be where South Africa is now, with the reins of power taken away from white South Africans, and soon for them to be completely vilified and driven off their land, and worse. It hasn't happened that way here yet, but they have been pushing the destruction of the country through forced immigration for decades. And not only forced immigration, but forced multiculturalism, forced integration. So, and these are all symptoms of the sickness to come. As Jeremiah Johnson says here, the instabilities we are seeing are a precursor of things to come. And the Parison cab driver was correct. In order to change an evil, sometimes you have to be willing to risk everything you have. And that's the bottom line. If you're not willing to risk everything you have, you're going to live a slave. You're going to live in acquiescence. You're going to live by everyone else's rules but your own. Is that what you want? Do you want some freak in the White House with funny hair telling you how to live? Is that what you want? Do you want the freaks, the pedophiles in Congress, passing laws for you, the citizen, to obey and not them? Is that really what you want? Do you want to live in peace where, you get pulled over one day and gunned down by a cop because you didn't use your fucking turn signal and you disagree with the cop? This is the shit we're dealing with. And as the sign says, it's the very beginning of the mega crisis ahead. People think overdoses are happening at alarming levels now, just wait. Just wait until it's evident to the upper middle class people that their lives are over with. Just wait till you hear about all the suicides. I mean, we're already living in a nation where suicides have spiked dramatically over the last 10 years. And as things break down further and further, more and more people are going to opt out. I hope you're not one of them. I hope you're one of the people who take up arms and deal the blows to these people that they have earned. I hope you all have a good day. Kill the state before the state kills you.